Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Magic the Gathering, and here we are ready to discover that top 10 Unicorn. That's right, that magical beast has made it to the Magic Gathering world. So let's explore the top 10 Unicorn, and now at number 10. At number 10 we have Benevolent Unicorn from Mirage, and it's common. Believe it or not, there's actually no rare unicorns in this series. But this one here it costs 2 for that 1/2. Already not that impressive, that's why it's at number 10. Whenever a spell assigns damage to a creature or a player, that damage is reduced by 1. That can work or not work in your favor when you're playing this card. This is why this card is at number 10. But let's move on to number 9. At number 9 we have Capashen Unicorn from Invasion, and this is a common as well. And it costs 2 for that 1/2, just like before, and it has that ability where you sacrifice it, it can destroy target, artifact, or enchantment. So it's basically you can keep attacking this creature or therefore destroying that artifact or enchantment, which a lot of decks nowadays have enchantments. So this can be very helpful in its multi-use. So let's move on to number 8. Which we have basically the same card of ability, this Ronom Unicorn, and it says sacrifice it or destroy target enchantment. So I picked this one over the other one because it's 2 for a 2/2, and you don't have to pay any mana to sacrifice it. Again, it just says enchantment. There is no artifact of that ability, and I really like the picture for this card. This is one of my favorite pictures for unicorns in the Magic world, and it's pretty cool. And it's from Ultimate Masters, so that's kind of cool. So I have to do some unboxes, but we're not talking about that. So let's move on to number 7. And the next card we have is Mesa Unicorn, and it's from Game and Night box, and it's a common. It costs 2 for a 2/2, and it has life link. And that's basically it. There's nothing special about that card, it's just a life link 2/2. When it comes to unicorns, this is actually really good. So let's move on to number 6 already. The next card we have is Opaline Unicorn. It's from the Theros series, and it's a common. It costs 3 for that 1/2, which is very expensive, but has that ability. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and it's an artifact creature. Could be very helpful, could not be very helpful. You get that extra mana out, but I wouldn't use this card based on that 1/2 ability or so many other cards out there. But again, here we are talking about unicorns, and this is why it's at number 6. So let's begin with number 5. And at number 5, halfway down the list, we have Noble Quarry. It is from Commander 2015 series, and it is uncommon. Has that 3 mana for the 1/1. It says bestow 5 colorless and a forest. If you cast this card from it's a bestow cost, it is an aurora spell with an enchant creature. It becomes a creature again if it's not attached to a creature. It's a very unusual ability at that time of Magic, and it says all able creatures able to block Noble Quarry or enchanted creature do so, and enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Even alone, if it doesn't get that +1/+1, if you have a lot of creatures in play and you as well as the enemy, it forces them all to get that Noble Quarry, which this is why it's at number 5. I like that. It just forces the opponent to be blocked by this card. Anyway, going on and on about it, this card is good if the opponent is playing creatures. So let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have Majestic Auricorn, and it's from Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths, and it's uncommon. And it costs 5 mana for that 4/4 unicorn. It's actually one of the most powerful unicorns. It has a base power of 4 and has that mutate, which can be very helpful. It costs 4, which I would recommend using the mutate itself, not the card, because it costs 5 again for a 4/4. Has Vigilance. Whenever this creature mutates, you gain 4 life. So that's a pretty bonus if you mutate it. Gives the creature vigilance and you gain 4 life. So I believe Vigilance is one of the strongest abilities in the Magic world. That's why I like it. But let's move on to number 3. At number 3, we have Inspiring Unicorn from Guilds of Ravinca, and it's uncommon. It says, whenever Inspiring Unicorn attacks, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Which is really, really cool. It's a cool picture, everything. But it costs 4 mana for that 2/2. That's just way too expensive. And the saying's kind of cool too. Like, there are 2 lives: the life you live before you see a unicorn, and the life you live after. I like that saying. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of true if you know anything mythology about unicorns. But let's move on to number 2. At number 2, we have Wishmonger from Mercadian Masques, and it's uncommon. And yes, the text says Monger, but they actually consider this a unicorn in the Magic world. It costs 4 for that 3/3, and it says one. It's not what you ask, but how you ask for it. Like, it's so true with reality. And the reason why here is because its ability. It costs 2 colors. It says target creature gains protection from the color of its controller's choice until end of turn. Any player may play this ability. I think this can work to your advantage if the enemy does not want to spend that extra 2 colorless every time. And you bring this card out as fast as you can, it could even work to your advantage even better. This is why it's at number 2. I think this is a very, very powerful unicorn card, but there is also one that's better. So let's move on to number 1. And at number 1, we have Good Fortune Unicorn from Modern Horizons, and it's an uncommon, like all the most of the unicorns. And let's just start with the saying, catching even a glimpse of one is the start of 8 years of good luck. Does that count even looking at this card? I don't know. But it costs 3 for a 2/2. Pretty expensive, but it says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. I think that's a really cool ability. This is why it's the best unicorn out of all the Magic cards. You can just keep putting out creatures and give them those +2/+1, and you don't even have to attack with them. +1/+1 counters. So especially if you have creatures with haste, this can be very helpful. And this is why it's at number 1. And if you like this video, just please watch more on the channel, and I hope you guys have a good day and a good evening.